Any finance, there is a cost, there is a risk. So you need to manage it. That is what the financial management is. Financial management is concerned with optimal procurement as well as usage of finance. So business finance means what? The money which is carried out to run any business, that is called the business finance. That money what you possess, that is called business finance. Hello everybody, a warm welcome to one and all. I'm Vidhyaashram from the Department of Commerce and Management in Vidhyaashram PU College, the Temple of Excellence. Welcome to all the students for the 9th chapter revision. Now here in this chapter, I'm going to teach you how exactly you people need to answer the questions. The reason being, this chapter contains 12 marks, students. 12 marks in the sense, you will be getting 4 markers, 2 questions. That means there are 2 questions of 4 marks plus add into it, we have 2 1-mark question and 1 2-mark question. That means totally put together, this chapter contains 12 marks which has been allotted by the PU board. So you do not have any 8-mark questions. So don't study any topic for 8 marks. You just need to study for 4 markers. And I'm gonna tell you which are the questions which you people need to go with, right? So let's start the first thing, that is the business finance. What exactly the meaning of business finance? What exactly financial management is? What do you mean by capital? What do you mean by investment? And I'll also be telling you how the working capital will actually differ from any other kind of a capital. So here when we go with business finance, money required for carrying out business activity is called business finance. So business finance means what? The money which is carried out to run any business, that is called the business finance. That money what you possess, that is called business finance. Almost all business activity requires some finance. I tell you, all the business activity requires finance, right? So here finance is needed to establish a business, to run it, to modernize it, to expand or diversify. See, when I tell you about diversification, there are a lot of business entities. What they did is, earlier they were something and then diversification happened and they changed the entire core business to something else. I'm going to give you an example of this. Nokia mobiles, right? This Nokia company is actually from Finland. So Finland, what they did is, when Nokia got lot of offers saying that let's manufacture more of mobiles, that is when the president of Finland and the president of Nokia, they shook their hands. That is what the hands which you always see, right? Whenever you used to switch on Nokia, there were 2 hands which were shaking, isn't it? That is the hand of Finland president and the Nokia president. They shook their hands and they went with a kind of a venture, and that is when Nokia started to manufacture the mobiles. But let me tell you here, earlier before they started to manufacture mobiles, they were the table and chair manufacturing company. See, table and chair manufacturing company, lot of money they got it, they diversified, they expanded, they modernized it, as well as they started to run the business very successfully. That is why business finance is very, very important. Next topic we have is financial management. How to manage the finance. This can come for 1 mark. So please do understand what exactly financial management is. Financial management is concerned with optimal procurement as well as usage of finance. If you write only this much, it's enough. 1 mark you will get it. For optimal procurement means to get from somebody, right? Different available resource of finance are identified and compared in terms of their cost and associated risk. Any finance, there is a cost, there is a risk. So you need to manage it. That is what the financial management is. Factors affecting capital budgeting decision. This can come for 4 marks. You just need to explain what exactly capital budgeting is and what are the things. The first one, there are certain factors affecting capital budgeting. The thing is cash flow of the project, how the cash flow is going on, the rate of return, the investment criteria involved. So if you just go with these 3 and write the meaning of it and then explain each and every terms, you will be getting 4 marks. The next one, the same here, you need to understand Factors affecting financial decisions. So whenever you take a financial decision, what are the factors which will affect? What are the hindrances which will be there? So the first one is the cost. Whenever you go with financial decision, the thing is what? Cost. How much cost it is. The risk involved. The floating cost while doing it, what all the costs will actually incur. Cash flow position of the company right now, what is the moment of the company in terms of the cash, how much they are actually able to go with it. Fixed operating cost, control consideration, and the state of capital market. But let me tell you here, please do not go with all the points. Choose any 4 points and then explain it. So you can actually go with this. See, cost for financial decision, cost is something which is the main. Then risk is always there in a business. Then you can actually go with flotation cost. Then any of these 4, any one you can take it and write it, because you only get for how many marks? 4 marks. Please do not prepare this chapter for 8 marks. So only 4 points, you just take it and then go with it. And for detailed videos, I'll tell you students, go to the Vidhyaashram, subscribe it, and then what is that you should do is, go to the playlist where you will get Abhilash Chandra's second PU Business Studies, where you go to the 9th chapter of Business Finance, then you will understand each and everything very clearly. Next is factors affecting dividend decisions. So whenever the company gives dividend to the shareholders, what are the factors which will actually go with it? The first factor here also is amount of earning, how much the company is earning. Is the company stable? The stability of earning is there or not? Stability of dividends are there or not? Say some company will actually go with 2 rupees as a dividend. Some goes with 5 rupees as a dividend. Next, you are supposed to go more, but there are few companies who go with 50 paisa as a dividend. So here, stability should be there. Next is growth opportunity. The company has a growth opportunity. Definitely, they're going to give a lot of dividends to the shareholders. So again, here also, I've listed more points. You are supposed to choose any 4. So these are the things which you need to understand. The cash flow position. See here also cash flow. The other one, when we went with a financial decision also, you had cash flow position. So these are some rare topics which you need to understand, where you have a lot of common. Shareholders preference, how the shareholder will go with it. Taxation policy and stock market reaction. So these are the points which you are supposed to go, but please take only 4 points and you explain each and everything properly. You'll be getting how many marks? 4 marks. Next is factors affecting is done. Now we'll go with the financial planning. Now when we go with financial planning, how the financial planning should be done? There will be a 2-mark question, student. This can be a 2-mark question for you, because I told you there will be 1 2-mark question. So this is what we feel that it can come in the examination. So financial planning is essentially the preparation of financial blueprint. So whenever we go with any planning of finance, we are supposed to know the blueprint of that. The reason being the blueprint, because business is uncertain. When business is uncertain and very risky, we need to actually plan about our finances. So why we are supposed to plan our finances, I'll just tell you here itself. The objective of financial planning, see, this can be a question, is to ensure that enough funds are available at right time. See, they can ask you a question, give the 2 objectives of financial planning. So first thing is what? Is to ensure that enough funds are available at right time. The second objective is we shouldn't unnecessarily take funds from somewhere else, right? That is the one more thing. So whenever we require funds, there should be funds, and unnecessarily we shouldn't raise any funds. That is what the 2 objectives of financial planning. So here, financial planning strives to achieve the following twin objectives. This can come for 2 marks. Understand? The first is to ensure availability of funds whenever required, to see that the firm does not raise fund unnecessarily. If you just write it, this is what you will be getting 2 marks. So this can be the question. So please do understand this. Next is capital structure. What exactly happens in capital structure? How will we structure our money, our capital, and then we'll go with it. The first one is the capital structure refers to the mix between owners and borrowed funds. So we have something called the owners fund. Owners fund. And we have borrowed funds. So this mixture is there, right? The owners fund and the borrowers fund, that is your capital structure. These shall be referred as equity and debt. So the owner funds are called equity. The owners fund are called what? Equity. And the borrowed fund is called what? Debt. So you have taken loan. That's why it is called borrowed fund, debt, in the subsequent text. So this is what the capital structure is. So how the capital structure will be? The capital structure is owners fund plus borrowed fund, equity plus debt. That is called the capital structure. Now working capital. Working capital in the sense, while working on daily basis, how much money we have, that is called working capital. Apart from the investment is in fixed assets, every business organization need to invest in current assets. Working capital is the money available to meet your current short-term obligation, that is called working capital. Factors affecting the working capital requirement. What are the factors which will affect the working capital? First one here, nature of business, how the business is, what exactly the business is. Scale of operation, business cycle, seasonal factors, production cycle, and credit allowed. So these are the factors which affects the capital, working capital. Again, here also, please take only 4 points because this is not for 8 marks. It is only for 4 marks. Okay, so this is what you people need to go with. Next is the same way what we went with here, no? Factors affecting working capital requirement. I've given here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here also, see, I've given here 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So here also, what is that you should do is, from this point and this point, please take only 4 points, whichever is comfortable for you, so that you can write it, go with it. That is how the smart way of working you are supposed to. Credit availed, operating efficiency, availability of raw materials. See, availability of raw materials, why? Because whenever we work, we need what? Raw materials. If us as a manufacturing company, we always need raw materials so that we can convert it and then go with the finished goods. Growth prospectus, levels of competition and inflation. All this will affect what? Working capital requirement. So there are only 3 questions in this chapter. If you study those 3 questions, 2 questions will definitely come. That means what? Study all the 3 students, you will get 2 questions and only go with 4 points of each question. Then you will be getting how many? 8 marks from this. The reason is you have here, I'll just write it. So 1 marker, if you go with this, this has the marks, right? These are the marks. 1 mark, 2 mark, 4 mark, 8 mark. Now the questions, how many questions gonna come is 2 questions gonna come from 1 mark, 1 question gonna come from 2 mark, 2 questions gonna come here also, 2 questions from 4, and here done. But how many questions I told you that you are supposed to prepare? Now to prepare, I've given you 2 1 mark question here only, financial planning, working capital, like that. Then here I have given you the objectives also and 1 more. And here there are 3 questions which you are supposed to prepare. That means, see here, if you prepare for 2 questions, you can write. If you prepare for 2 questions, you can write 1. If you prepare for 3 questions, you can write 2. That is what it is. And you will be getting how many marks? 12 marks from this chapter. So go with this. Very easy chapter. It is only 4 points you are supposed to remember. Any doubt regarding this chapter, please do call us. We are always there to help you. Thank you so much. I'll see you when I see you. Thank you.